Hello, Coyote staff. Happy New Year. This is January 4th, 2021, and I wanted to take the opportunity to share with you the very draft plans for the AM/PM model that we're going to start on January 19th together. We'll have the opportunity to talk about this at our upcoming staff meeting as well as in other small cohort meetings like with our supervision staff and so forth. So what you're seeing on the screen, and you have a link to in the Coyote Tracks, is the AM/PM schedule for regular days, Mondays, Tuesdays through Fridays, as well as minimum days. There will be a lunch pickup, grab and go as well for students. And more details will be coming out about this, but we think it's the possibility for the PM students to pick up their breakfast and lunch when they leave school for the next day. So there will also be a lunch, a small cohort of students that will be on campus for more than just the A group or B group for their services based on their IEPs. And so we'll provide a small, some recess as well as one lunch for those students that they'll be seated in the cafeteria, and I'll show you that as well. So as we look at this, I want to show you a couple things, and hopefully you can have some time to think about it before our staff meeting and be able to address questions or issues or concerns or any ideas that you have to make it the transition smoother. So we talked about teachers before, boy, and I've got all kinds of things on my screen, so I apologize. But what we're calling our recess, because we can't really have a recess because those minutes are not instructional minutes, but we have outdoor education, an optional social emotional learning schedule. And we're going to keep about a 10-minute period of time for recess. And you can see that they're scheduled every 15 minutes to allow for a little transition. And those would be for Tuesdays through Fridays, and it would not be for Mondays as well as minimum days or for any days that you might have PE, like on Thursday or Friday. You'll see the PE schedules in here as well. And so with that said, there'll be 4 sessions for grades 2 through 6. TK, K, and 1 did not change at all. And please let me know if you have questions about that. The reason that the rationale around Mondays and minimum days and PE days is that those days instructional minutes are so short already that if you as a teacher need time outside with your students, then I'm not going to schedule those, but you certainly could provide that for your students. All right. And then in terms of the supervision of that all, I did go ahead and put a supervision schedule here just so that you guys could relieve each other to go to the restroom and so forth. So here's this week's schedule in the current hybrid model for the next couple weeks. And then as we get to January 19th, as we start that schedule, notice that there are 4 sessions, and I placed classes, cohorts in zones. And I'm going to ask teachers to supervise and staff to supervise at lunch as well between zones 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then during the outdoor ed recess, just please relieve each other to use the restroom as needed. So we really only need 2 people out there because there'll be only 4 zones. Because in zone 1, we need to reserve that for PE. So check that out. Let me know if you have questions. Talking about PE, Shelly, as you know, is so awesome at providing this in advance. So this is the planned PE schedule for AM/PM model. And if you have any questions, please let Shelly or I know. And then I also, because we have to supervise or provide crossing 4 times a day now, the supervision staff who are here in terms of our instructional aides as well as supervision of lunch duty, we are repurposing what they're doing in order to provide a couple things. Crossing, as you can see here, in the 3 locations assigned for 4 times during the day, as well as for sanitization of our classrooms between cohorts in midday. So with that said, I will show you that schedule. I haven't necessarily, I've talked to our supervision staff, but I haven't necessarily shown this to them. So this will be their first look as well. I want you guys just know this is all draft, and I'm just trying to get us started somewhere so that we can move forward quickly. So for those students that will be staying, for those that have an IEP for resource and those that are in our SDC classes, room 29 and 30, we will assign seats in the cafeteria. And the idea, as you can see here, is that we would have, I'm not sure if this will work, but I'm thinking it might. We would have a lunch for cohort A at 10:05, one recess in the middle for all students that are there, and then a lunch for cohort B. Although this would be a very small number of students and that will be there, less than 20 each lunch in the cafeteria. They will be assigned by grade level, and they'll be assigned specific seats for tracing purposes as needed, and will be supervised by instructional aides as well, so that they can have their services outside of class time. We're going to that's our goal for all of our students. We may not be able to make it for everyone, but we're certainly trying on that. Okay, and then the supervision staff, here you guys go. There's, like I said, a couple things. There's targeted intervention that we need to provide, and we are not going to be able to provide that with this model between sessions necessarily, but they have several hours, an hour. So many of our supervision staff are instructional aides as well. Some are trained and are already implementing level LLI, targeted instruction. And so they will be there in all grade levels to support in the AM and in the PM model. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to provide some targeted intervention specific for those students. It will be during the school time. Either for AM, it'll be at the end of the day, and in PM, it'll be in the beginning of the day. And I'm hopeful that we can pull and support a few students for 20, 30 minutes with some level literacy intervention. And maybe mathematics, we'll see. And then of course we have a crossing schedule, and then we have specific rooms that'll be sanitized. With the sanitization, each of our 5 supervision staff will be trained. I've provided a bucket, a gallon spray bottle with sanitization fluid, as well as rags and all the supplies that they need to go and clean their specific assigned classrooms in between sanitization. Okay, not cleaning, sanitization. So we're ready for the next cohort. And then, of course, Pedro will continue what he normally does throughout the day, as well as clean and sanitize the cafeteria after our one session and get the tables up. And then Chris will sanitize in the evenings, as we've been doing, as well as try to clean as much as possible on a regular schedule. So that is basically what we've got and in the works. Look through it. I wanted to just share that with you in advance so that you have it. And then please just shoot me some questions, or I will provide that question and answer document that I gave you before break in the Coyote track, so that you can start just jotting down your ideas as well. And that will make our staff meeting time really efficient. So I think you're awesome. I want you to know that I believe this will be a smooth transition. 2021, there's going to be change. I think that we have an opportunity to embrace it, and I absolutely believe that we will provide a smooth transition. We'll provide a high quality education for all of our students. I truly believe that we'll also provide for and care for each other as we continue to care for Coyotes, our social, emotional, and mental well-being as well. You guys, I'm fired up. I love you all. I love Sunset Ranch, and I'm ready for 2021. Let's do this. Go Coyotes. Bye.